I just don't know why we need to have the countdown and then the really long intro video.
Because we're light on content today, so we have multiple videos. I love watching the reaction. By the way, hello everybody. I love watching the reaction of people, like you, Andy, and our guest in the in the little photos in the bottom of the screen while this thing is going on. There's eye rolling. There's laughing.
I made the video and I hate it.
Well, it psyched me out.
It
psyched me out because I saw okay, 5, 4, 3. I'm like, okay. Then I see Andy eating pizza, and I'm like,
so yeah, you peaked early, which is we know that happens a lot. But guys, what do Arsenal, Barcelona, and Real Madrid have in common? All 1-0 losers this weekend. So we're in good company. We're headed to great things. I can tell you that right now. No one got that, so there's no prize being awarded today. But Mikey Hernandez joining us for the very first time on the show at Mike Hers FC at NA Gooner Podcast. Welcome to the pod for your duck breaking appearance.
Stop pointing at that, Andy. It's been a long time coming, man. I appreciate you guys having me on.
It's been too long.
It's been a very long time. I got invited to another podcast to talk about a feeder league with Tom, and I was like, it's only a matter of time before my stock grows enough. Mike and Andy will have me on. So
you're breaking your duck, and you've been listening to our podcast since before we had a podcast, which is weird.
Yes.
But he would just call both of us separately, even though Andy and I didn't know each other yet, and just listen to us and breathe heavy into the phone. So that's how much of a supporter and a user that he is. So congratulations on breaking your duck.
I will say this, Hernandez. Mike did say to me after that Tom episode, why have we not had him on? We're awful people. And that's when we were like, we should have had him on. So
did he really? Or
no, I swear to you, he did. He legit reached out. And I don't listen to Canton's Feeder League podcast because it's boring, And unless I want to hear about a player who may play in the Premier League 3 or 4 years from now, why would I listen to it?
We love us some Tom. And Mike, we wanted to wait around. We like to buy at the right time, and we'd like to announce that we've just purchased you on loan with an obligation to buy, and so yeah, we're happy to have you on, buddy, and we want you to thank you to Sebi, by the way, for those pictures of you breaking your duck.
I should have known.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a strange Photoshop and we're showing it, it's definitely Sebi. So tell us a little bit of history about your Arsenal background. You and I have shared a lot of personal history together in our offline friendship, but tell everyone that's watching kind of how you became an Arsenal fan and why you just can't get enough of Arsenal podcasts, because we know that you love yourself some podcasts.
I do. I got it's not that I have a lot of time on my hands. I'm always actually working. Matter of fact, Owen was teasing me a week or so ago. I couldn't make it on his podcast, but I was spamming his chat left, right, and center. So I sent like 100 messages. So I was there in spirit. But no, in the early 90s, my parents ended up getting divorced, and just typical kid, America, not knowing a whole lot, especially the early 90s. We had so little exposure to the actual game. I didn't really know much about it. So parents end up getting divorced. My mom takes me to Guatemala, and in Central America, pretty much like any other country, they're obsessed with the sport, right? Any other country other than United States at that point in time. They're obsessed with it, and for a few months kept on half understanding, half learning the language, and I would have my friends say, hey dude, give it a try, watch the game. And I'm like, nah dude, it's boring. Hey, you want to go watch this game? Nah dude, I don't want to go watch this game. And so I had a few lonely months in Central America, trying to learn the language, trying to figure out how to get new friends over there with the language barrier. And eventually my friend says, dude, listen, there's no exception. You got to go to this game, because he just saw me bummed out, I guess. And he takes me to watch a game. It's just at his house, and it's I believe it was called the Champions Cup at that point in time. And I get to watch Mr. Alan Smith score a goal versus Parma, and that was like my first soccer game, football game, however you want to call it. And I get to watch it, and I'm like, it left an impression. You know, I remember the red and white kits, and I just kind of like, that's a cool kit. That's all I thought initially, right? Then I stumbled upon, and I went a few more months without watching it, and then eventually I'm flipping through the channels, and I turn on TV, and I'm like, hey, there's that one team. And I remember asking my friends, and like, listen, everybody at that point in time was like United, right? The class of '92 is coming up. It was all madness, right? And I just took the opposite approach. I was like, you know what? I don't want to be part of the group. I'm already different as is. I'm already labeled gringo over there. You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna go for this team in red and white. And I guess the rest is history, man. It's been a mild obsession since. So mild obsession, yes. It's to say it's kind of a weird thing. You know, sports kind of means a lot of different things to a lot of different people, and I could honestly say just being surrounded by the atmosphere and getting so devoted, into the game, kind of pulled me out of a crappy place I was early on in my life. So it became kind of a nice little ray of sunshine for me. So I looked forward to it, and little by little, I couldn't get enough of it.
Yeah, man, football bringing people into happiness and community and all of that, and it's a good segue, as Owen likes to say, into the format of the show today. It's a little different than our normal show. We're thrilled to have you with us, Mike, not only because you have been a loyal listener, user, friend, but also a big supporter of Gooners versus Cancer. And a lot of what today's show is about the great part of Gooners versus Cancer, which is giving out the prizes that people are going to win and recognizing the people who helped us along the way. So we do have a couple of Arsenal-related things to talk about. One of them is a light brush into what was a return to action against Manchester City. So we're going to hand that over to Andy in just a minute. But we're going to do a little Man City talk, a little bit of prize drawings, talk about a couple other football-related items, go back into the rest of the prize drawings, and finish it off there. So, by the way, I just want to quickly say I am modeling a extra large version, but they have them in all sizes, of the Gooners versus Cancer T-shirt, which is currently available on the She Wore shop. Most Arsenal fans, both in the UK, US, around the world, are familiar with Gav's shop. He's got a lot of really cool Arsenal-related items, and he opened a US version with a lot lower shipping costs and some interesting items, including the Gooners versus Cancer T-shirt, which you can buy with all the proceeds and profits, I should say, going to Gooners versus Cancer. So check that out. It's shewareusa.com, and thank you to Gav for that. Who we got in the chat, Andy? What do we besides? I keep seeing Becca's picture come up, which is never a problem for me.
No, we got Owen, we got Fredo, we got Joe, we got Andrew, we got Ryan. I'm scrolling up.
Fantastic. Yeah.
You know who's not in there this week? That Hers guy who's with us every week.
I know.
Not even in the chat group.
Hold on.
I haven't seen a single chat from him yet. It's diabolical.
Oh, there he is.
There he is. All right.
Okay, there we go.
I made it. All right.
All right. So let's talk about how the world is ending for Arsenal's fans around the world.
Yeah. I don't know about you two, but whenever I see the schedule now with Arteta at the helm, I don't really look at these big matches against City, Liverpool, and think, okay, there's no chance we can get we're just going to lose, right? It's not automatic. That has really changed after I watched this last match because we were just fucking dreadful. But City didn't look hot either. And if you look at all the results around the league, I've said it forever, Mike. Whenever we come out of an international break, we just do not look good. And City's probably not that team that you want to play. But you know what? I mean, to play away to City, lose 1-0. Look, I'm going to say it. Party didn't start, Arteta out. There you go.
Yeah, I mean, he's got to go.
He's got to.
I told you guys we should have kept Emery. I said it.
Yeah, we should have kept Emery, and we should have kept Theo Walcott, and we should have done all of that stuff. I mean, it's one of those weekends where after the game, I'm thinking to myself, you know what, that could have gone worse. It should have gone better. We're now done with the two toughest games that we would have, away from home against Manchester City and Liverpool. And in each game look to have possible opportunities to win and played on actually on the upper foot for good portions of the game, specifically in the Liverpool game. We'll get to that, Owen, but it's just got to be kept in perspective. There's so much rush to just absolutely murder people and to talk about Arteta and his team selection and the team's performance and the decision to start Partey and our goalkeeping situation. But I mean, let some time go by. I just can't take it, the negativity around this anymore. No. But we do have to ask, because anytime a goalkeeper parries directly into the path of an unmarked defender, you got to look at the defenders and you got to look at the keeper, and our resident keeper Andy will probably give us a.
Yeah, it's a bad save. I can only think that he saw it late, and that was just his instinct. But it's the one bad thing with Leno is he likes to try and parry more than he should just catch, and he probably could have caught it. So I'm thinking he saw it late. But yeah, he should never have gotten the shot, right? Defending was just dire, and then to not then try and fight to clear that ball or throw yourself in front of it. I think there was a lot of people to blame. And let's put the Emmy versus Leno to bed, because Leno ended up coming up big the rest of the match to keep it at 1-0 and at least keep us in it. Mike, hers, I don't know. God damn, I got two mics on. I don't know what to do.
Hers or Hernandez. That's fine.
Hers. What do you think about it?
The actual goal, I was surprised to see David Luiz was so far up the pitch and then left like a major gap in our defense. Bellerin tried to get back. So I don't know if you want to call out Bellerin for not being there or Luis, but yeah, like you said, dude, that I think it was like Maris that made like a 20-30 yard pass between literally like 5-6 like of our defenders that had like a waking gap, right? And then directly to Foden. I don't know much about the whole goalkeeping thing, so I'm not going to say whether I feel like it would have been difficult for him to catch. Foden Shai had a little bit of pace behind it. It was kind of close by. But, if he was going to parry it, that was always going to be difficult to parry to a like specific direction, I guess. And so it was almost kind of like a tap in for him, dude. So it sucks, man. But honestly, man, I didn't really focus very much on the negatives, believe it or not, as an Arsenal fan should. I guess I'm an embarrassment in that sense.
I mean,
no, you're like a normal person.
At the beginning of the season, if someone says like, "Hey, you're going to go to City and lose 1-0," you're probably thinking like, okay, there's going to be teams that go there and lose by a lot more.
So yeah. If we look at the next couple of games, dude, if they, let's just say realistically, because these are the toughest fixtures that we have, if you ask an Arsenal fan at the beginning of the season, hey, out of 8 or 10 games, would you take potentially 8 wins and 2 losses? They'll bite your hand off for it, right? So
if you say those 2 losses are to Liverpool and City, yeah.
Yeah, so and I mean, in contrast, man, I just feel like we've beaten teams that we haven't beaten before, that we would like end up tying. So like we've on paper we beat all the teams that we're supposed to. I know the whole cliche, there's no easy fixtures, right? But
if you go into a season planning on competing for the title, you have to win these kinds of games. If you go into the season trying to make a drastic improvement from the last 3 or 4 years to get back into European football through the Champions League draw, and your goal truly is top 4, then you need to be worried about the home games against Sheffield United and West Ham. You need to be worried about picking up 3 points when we go to Brighton instead of losing to them. You need to, be thinking in terms of winning the games you should win, snatching points where you can on the road against top 10 teams. And just getting it done, closing out leads instead of capitulating in the last 10 or 15 minutes, as we see some teams doing. still, that's what you need to do. And that's the season we're in right now. So I'm just not prepared to get all bent out of shape about whether we started a new player or not who played 180 minutes during the week for his country and hasn't had really more than 1 or 2 training sessions with us. I just don't see the point in it. There's plenty of other ranters and ravers online that can do that. It's not going to be me.
The only thing that bothered me from this particular match was that even in the second half, because we've seen, Arteta's okay with allowing better teams to have possession, and our shape is a lot better, under him. Defensively, we looked pretty solid, except for a few moments where they got in front of goal, and we let them push shots from out wide. And unfortunately, one of them did spill back into the 6, and as Hers said, they got a tap in, right? But there was no plan B in the second half, and that's what frustrated me. We just looked so kind of just boring, and there was nothing in the midfield to really spark. And I had this conversation with Canton and Drew, just asking, because I don't know much about Partey. And so I asked the question, with him being our marquee signing for the summer, does that then allow a Danny Ceballos to push forward and be a little bit more of a creative midfielder? And both of their answers was yes. That will be the ultimate pivot number 10 type of.
So in other words, no.
But again, we didn't get to see Partey because, as you said, Mike, 180 minutes during the week. He doesn't really know the system. It's really tough for him to just drop in and play against City. So end of the day, I'm on your page. I'm not going to get too upset that we lost 1-0. I don't care that Partey didn't start. That was just a joke. We lost. You're going to lose. And
here's how
let me just say this, because Andrew Schmidt put it into the chat group. Would you rather lose 1-0 to City away or draw to West Ham after being 3-0 up at home?
I mean, the correct answer is the draw from a table standpoint. But yeah, I get point well made, and one of them's a little more banterable than the other. I very conveniently look at stretches like this where we've lost against Liverpool and Manchester City away, and I like to look at it in a larger scale of let's judge it over 10 games over an entire season. By the same token, I've realized I don't do the same thing on the reverse. When we beat Norwich 5-0 or whatever last year, we were going to win the Champions League that game. So
you were on that.
I probably do have a different reactions. It's just more of sticking my head in the sand, maybe. But I just let's give it a little bit longer before we start, calling for people's heads.
So on Owen's point, I asked this during his podcast where, listen, are we disappointed as Arsenal fans? Like you two, you guys could give me a perspective. Are you disappointed because you expect more from Arsenal now, or because you expected having a wounded City? Is it because they're doing bad or we're doing good? My perspective is he's given us hope. I no longer going. I've gone on air and I said I don't see his team getting spanked 5-6-0.
No,
that's not where I'm at. Yeah.
Well, and this team has beaten City. This team has beaten Liverpool in maybe not in the Premier League, but in matches that have counted. And we've beat them. That semifinal in the FA Cup. Okay, granted, some of the players are slightly different, but the bulk of both squads are relatively the same. And we really controlled them. So I'm going into these matches thinking we can get 3 points out of them.
Yeah, I'm going in thinking they're toss-ups, and
especially
as any top 4 or top 6 battle should be,
which wasn't the case 12 months ago.
Absolutely not. No. I mean, it was how bad can we stop the bleeding? I mean, when we played Liverpool in Anfield around the holidays a couple years ago, we went up 1-0 through an early goal from Maitland-Niles, and it was just let's not get too excited because we know it's coming. And then it was just 1-1, 1-2, 1-3, 1-5. And it was just this sinking feeling of here we go again. I would be shocked to see that in any game this season, even though we've already seen Liverpool and United lose massively lopsided games. We are, I think we're more competitive, and we have to look at it that way. So
absolutely.
So, we lost, but again, there's always next week, and we've got a Europa League drawing and Europa League season coming up. But let's get to some fun stuff here. Let's get to some drawings. First thing I want to just say is we have a grand total as of right now for Gooners versus Cancer that just made me absolutely thrilled. It's $21,135 for a goal of $20,200. So I just, I can't thank people enough for being a part of this and helping us just smash our goals. It was a very enlightening charity campaign with COVID going on and the lack of in-person donations to be able to get $21,000 donated from 460 people in 23 countries from 5 continents. It's just absolutely amazing. So that's what's going to be fun about picking the prize winners. We got 13 lucky donors who will be taking home a prize from the Gooner raffle. So real quick, we're not going to spend a ton of time thanking people today because Andy and I did a video about 15 minutes on Thursday night last week, right when the campaign closed. You can see that video at goonersubscribe.com. That's our YouTube page. And, I really hope that you will take time to watch that because so many people in so many different countries in so many different ways help to make this campaign a success. So we'd really like you to watch that if you can. Just not right now because we're in the middle of something right now. So with a prize drawing like this, it needs to be legit. You can't be, picking winners that are your friends. There's Natalie. Natalie is someone I do want to thank because she is the representative from the Leukemia Lymphoma Society who helped so much on the back end of the website and the encouragement and helping make everything work. So this is great. And that thank you and the sentiment about being incredible is going out to everybody who donated into this charity. And again, we thank you for that. So we're going to do some drawings here and pick some winners. And we've done some pre-drawings already as well. This is where I get a bit distracted because I'm having to pull up multiple screens here. Because I have to multitask, and we don't like that when that happens.
That doesn't go well.
So I've enlisted the help of Random Picker, which is a software that allows me to pretty much dump in everybody that donated into these prizes and weight them based on the number of raffle tickets that they put in, and we'll select a certified winner. So the first prize is Prize A, which is 4 Emirates Stadium self-guided tour passes. Self-guided tour of the Emirates gives you the ability to do it at your own pace. You can go through the dressing room, you can go through the media room and horse around or take it seriously. It's up to you. So we had 11 entrants in this, and we're going to award the win through the drawing. And here we go. The winner of the 4 Emirates Stadium self-guided tour passes is...
Well, his dial-up is a little slow today.
Seriously.
David Levinson. Dave Levinson.
Wow.
It's the 4 Emirates Stadium self-guided tour passes. Recently got married, David did. I happen to know him personally, so hopefully this will be an early or a late honeymoon kind of present for them. So congratulations, David. I will coordinate getting those to you shortly. The second prize is the Perry Groves experience. I love the Perry Groves experience because it's the exact type of thing that we want to be able to offer, something that's unique, different, and not available to everybody. So the Perry Groves experience includes 3 things. Number 1, it includes a Legends tour of the Emirates for yourself and 3 friends or family. You get 4 tickets for an Emirates tour that's led by Perry Groves. He tells great stories, adds a little extra touch to the normal tour. You'll get a signed kit from him. We're going to buy you a kit to take to him to sign, and he'll sign it for you. And then, best of all, he's going to take you out for beers afterwards. And beers with Perry Groves is, I know, Mike, you're familiar with like the 90s and the recent players. Perry Groves, look him up. He's a superstar.
YouTube compilation coming up.
A cult hero, as he readily admits. So here, this one was pre-drawn because we're going to have a special announcement made by Perry himself. So here we go.
Hi guys, Perry Groves here, Arsenal's second greatest ginger. I was honoured to be asked to donate a prize to the Gooners versus Cancer fundraiser of a tour of mine around the Emirates, and I'm delighted to announce that the winner is, drumroll, tension, Mark Mertz from Green Bay, Wisconsin. Congratulations, Mark. And a little bird tells me that you put over 200 tickets in, which is a fantastic effort. So I look forward to seeing you at the Emirates, mate, with yourself and 3 of your guests. We'll have a little tour. We'll go out afterwards, have a few beers, paint the town red. See what I did there? And I'm sure we'll have a lot more fun I did with Mike when I met him back in March. Because how many games have I, Spike, and 2 men play? God, that was painful. So congratulations to everybody involved in the Gooners versus Cancer charity fundraiser. You've done fantastically well. Brilliant effort. And don't forget, my old man said, be a Tottenham fan. I said, off, you're a... I'm sure you can fill in the blanks.
Oh man, that's great for him, dude. He's such a nice guy. So
Yeah, Mark
is good people.
Mark is good people. He's always supported Gooners versus Cancer very generously, and he went all in on the Perry Groves tour, and it paid off. So
Good for him.
Congratulations, Mark. I know he also won the game tickets from last season's raffle, which then got put off because of COVID. He was planning on using them last May. So that sounds like a pretty good trip coming up when the world returns to normal. So congratulations, Mark, on that. Next, we have a Arsenal 88-89 retro kit signed by Lee Dixon. And the plan was to have Lee announce his winner, but I didn't get the name of the winner to him until Saturday, and he's done
Media
commentary.
operations.
Yeah, I think he's done about 9,000 football games over the weekend. And so we're going to play the draw that was done live over the weekend. And here is our winner of the Lee Dixon signed shirt.
All right, here we are with prize letter C. It's an Arsenal 88-89 retro kit. You can have your choice of red or yellow, home or away, and it will be signed by number 2, the best right back in the history of Arsenal Football Club, as far as I'm concerned, Lee Dixon. So without any further ado, we have 119 entrants for this. It was a competitive one. There was a lot of interest in this kit, and there will be one winner. And that winner will be have the winner, Jeffrey Summer. Congratulations, Jeffrey. Jeffrey is one of our donors who I believe comes from Westchester, Pennsylvania in the USA. So thank you very much, Jeffrey, for your donation, for supporting Gooners versus Cancer, and I believe we may have a special message for you.
And that special message is, how much of a tool am I for like my commentary during that was like 2:00 in the morning on Friday night that I did that. And you don't actually have to just keep talking all the time. You could just do the draw.
I told you this for like 7 years.
7 out of the 5 years we've known each other, you've been telling me that. But hey, I like to fill
Mike,
that air. So congratulations.
Now that I get to ask you the tough questions since I'm on the pod, I'm just curious, when Lee Dixon goes into these interviews, does he wear an Arsenal shirt like you did in Denver, or does he wear something a little bit more fancy?
Oh no, he wears he has a whole line of those scarves that you see him wear during the 89 thing. I mean, Lee is quite the fashion plate. I don't claim to have any kind of fashion sense compared to Lee, so little bit, not much, is the answer to Joe's question. So congratulations to Jeffrey Summer. Nice summer breeze, going to bring him an Arsenal kit signed by Lee Dixon. Next on the list, prize D, we have this. We have actually 3 of these to give away: extra large, large, and medium. They are the 89 T-shirt. This is the best part of the podcast because you can't see me, but with the 89 T-shirt with the famous it's up for grabs now mention from the broadcast, and that's a T-shirt made by Stephen Feely out of New Orleans, an expat from the UK, and he can be found at afc.feestees.me. He's got a great shop of Arsenal related T-shirts and other things there as well. So without any further ado, or with some further ado, let's get to that drawing. How about you vamp for me while I get over to that? How do you like that T-shirt? Is 89 before your time, Mike?
Yeah, just a little bit. I mean, I was born.
Are you familiar with what happened?
I was born. Yeah. Yeah. No, I was. I'm familiar with what happened, and I made sure to check out the actual film when it came out. But get that, opened up a whole different perspective, because honestly, I knew of the story, but I had no idea. I guess the culture change that the club was going through with George Graham, just that speech that he had. The fact that some of the players were just thinking he was cutting players to cut wages and all that. All those little things are just always great to kind of know. So it was fun. I mean, what was it? Amy Lawrence did a great freaking job on it.
It was a yes or no question, Mike. I'm kidding. Thank you for that. So the winner of the extra large 89 T-shirt is Chidi Nwafor. Congratulations to Chidi, who has won the extra large shirt. Wow. The nicest comment from Becca, made in the most vulgar way.
And I know. I mean,
I must say.
This is like killing Mike.
I'm not sure how to feel about this, to be honest.
Do you know what I'm kind of liking about this view, though, Hernandez? It's me, you, and Becca as the three co-hosts right now. And
Mike
that looks way, way better.
Well, we already know Mike's not on the next pod.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. No, I'm due a break. All right, so the Fees Tees 89 T-shirt in large size is about to be awarded.
I thought you did all of this beforehand. I was expecting.
No, it's got to be live. I don't want to have the
have it edited.
I don't want people to think that I just selected my friends to win this thing. We've got the men's large shirt for the 89 T-shirt, and that is going to
Joey Murphy. He'd be a medium, though.
Joey Murphy. This could be his nighttime gown if it's large for Joey.
Rob Gubas.
Yes.
Rob Gubas gets item D2, which is the 89 T-shirt in the men's large. Congratulations, Rob. And next we have the men's medium, which to me, I mean, that's like, I can't even conceive of what is involved in being a men's medium.
No.
I mean,
Mike, when was the last time you were a men's medium?
I think I was 6 years old. I was 6. I didn't know any better. And I
didn't know any better.
I didn't know any
How
better.
long do you think you were in medium clothes for? Like the time frame?
7 months.
Week and a half. Week and a half. Okay. The winner of the men's medium.
I only wear a medium shirt when I want to shirt cock someone.
I only wear a medium. Never mind. I'm not even going to say that. Amrit Guatam. All right, Amrit.
You skinny son of a bitch. You won it.
You got it. You won 2 things. You've won life because you're not big and fat like me, and you've won an 89 T-shirt in the men's medium size. So congratulations on that.
Congrats. But heart issues don't just affect the obese.
Is this a public service announcement?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the medical advice of the day.
Yeah. So here's a cool one because I pre-drafted the Prize E. Prize E is the Alan Smith jersey, signed by Alan Smith in whatever verbiage you would like for him to sign on it, and so we did that one over the weekend. And here is the draw itself.
Okay, Prize E, which is an Arsenal 88-89 retro kit, your choice of the home red or the away yellow, signed by Alan Smith, scorer of the first goal in the famous Anfield 89 game and tons of other goals. We love Alan. He's been on the podcast a lot, and we're thrilled to have his support with a signed shirt that is going to be going to one of the 104 people that entered this drawing. And let's find out who's going to win here. The winner of the Alan Smith signed kit, 2020 Gooners versus Cancer campaign is Ian O'Regan. Ian O'Regan gets item E, the retro kit signed by Alan Smith. Ian O'Regan is a Gooner out of San Antonio, Texas, and we are very excited for him to take this home. So, get with you, Ian, and I think we have a special announcement for you.
I can't get over watching Andy's face while that's the last
It's because
pre-recorded video.
it's because
You're absolutely
announcing
right.
what you're announcing.
You have every right to criticize me for these because I'm watching them back now and it's just painful. It's absolutely painful. And
I did warn you before we went live that I would make fun of you for how hard this was.
You did because I'm making this into there is a simplicity that Andy does things with, and I just haven't learned to do that. So, but on a serious note, Ian O'Regan is someone that I also know from the Arsenal American Supporters Club. Great guy, great family, and I want to give him an extra special message of support here from Alan Smith himself.
Hi, Alan Smith here, former player for the greatest team the world has ever seen, the mighty Arsenal. I'm delighted to have been associated with Gooners Against Cancer for 3 consecutive years now. And I'm also really pleased to say that the winner of my signed retro shirt is Ian O'Regan. So congratulations, mate. Very well done. I know it's been a really tough year for you, so I hope that the shirt just in some small way can brighten your day. But thank you so much for supporting Gooners v Cancer. And up the Gunners. Take care.
All right, so congratulations, Ian.
So I got a quick thing. So I text Mark just to let him know you won. And he was like, this is what he wrote. Sweet. I had the pod on, but was on a teleconference, so I muted it during the Perry Groves video. He'll have to go back and watch it, he said. But isn't that great that he's like missed the one part that matters most to him? But
absolutely. No, that's hilarious. Congratulations to Mark and congratulations to Ian. I'm looking forward to getting that kit to you. So let's take a quick break from these because they're so they're not as entertaining, the prize draws, as I was hoping they would be. No laser light show or anything like that. So let's get to something that happened over the weekend as well. In the Arsenal game, actually, against Manchester City. Mike, what's your take on Sergio Aguero v. the Lions person? We've seen a lot of furor on Twitter. Shockingly, there's a million different opinions on it. But Kun Aguero got a little handsy with the Lions person during the game. And it's something that, it's a weird cultural thing that I'm finding because growing up in the States, whether it's baseball, hockey, football, American football, it doesn't matter, basketball, you don't touch an umpire or a referee. You just don't. And if you do, I mean, whether it's, in a friendly way, whether it's in a intimidation way, whether it's affection, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. It's immediate ejection from the game, red card or otherwise. And I've always been kind of uncomfortable with the fact that it's not that way in football. You see like hordes of guys going towards the ref in the middle and bumping into him and grabbing his arm to talk to him. And I don't think it's appropriate. But the added element here of the Lions person being a woman has triggered a lot of people, and I don't use that in a way saying that they shouldn't be. It's really changed the discussion a lot here. So, Mike, I'm going to put you on the spot. What do you think that this is much ado about nothing, or do you think that this is wildly inappropriate?
Yeah, I mean, look, I thought it was wildly inappropriate to touch referees, period. So similar to what you were saying in American sport, I don't think they should feel at risk, or you never know the other person's intentions when they're putting hands on you. So I would feel uncomfortable no matter what with somebody putting hands on me. But the fact that she's a female just adds an extra layer to this, because you could easily make an argument that Aguero wouldn't have done that with a male, with a taller gentleman, et cetera, et cetera. And just as it's more so, and I try not to read into it like too much, but the fact that like when she bumps his hand off, he kind of does like the drag back through all her back,
Yeah,
upper back.
this still
weird.
shot doesn't. Yeah, I actually disagree that he wouldn't do this to a male referee because you see it all the time. But there was a little. I mean, if you microanalyze the nature of the touch, it was a little different, and and it entered in very much into the creepy element to me.
And not only that when here's the thing, right? We're three guys talking about this,
right?
We haven't lived their lives.
If you want to get perspective on this, go to follow at Soccer Diva. Sophie Sophie has been talking about this a lot, and is a much better positioned person to be able to talk about what being on the receiving end of that is than any of the three of us could be.
Also, I think her name is Rebecca Lowe from BC. She also spoke about it very, very well as well. But I think before you jump in, Andy, what I think is what must be difficult for a woman looking at the situation, and if they followed all the interviews and stuff, is when they questioned Guardiola, it was, oh, come on, he's a good person, and just don't waste my time with it. Dude, you can't do that. I mean, that you gotta take a lot of things into consideration. And I just feel like just brushing it onto the side like it's nothing, I don't think that's appropriate either.
When people are offended by something, you can't tell them not to be offended about it.
Exactly.
That's just diabolical.
So when you ask Pep about it, if he hasn't seen the video, what can he say? Like, if he hasn't seen the incident, what can he say? Like, he's just trying to brush it off. But here's the perspective of her, the official, because I was listening to the Football Ramble this morning, and they asked Jules Breach about it, who is color commentary for the Premier League. And this female referee was offered, when she became the first female referee for the Premier League, to take the physical assessment for the female referees. And she said, no. If I'm going to do this, you got to treat me as though I'm a male, and I will do everything that the males do, and I will follow all the protocols. So I think Aguero would do this to any official. Is it wrong to put your hands on the official? Absolutely, 100%, male or female. Is this getting heightened because it's a female? 100%. Are we overanalyzing it? 100%, right? So it doesn't make...
We're overanalyzing it because I'm me, and I like to overanalyze things.
Aguero isn't a bad person for doing it. Is he a little bit of a creeper for the hand after? Absolutely. But at the end of the day, he would have done it to probably a lineman. He would have probably maybe even done something different to them, like with a harder pad or whatever it was. They shouldn't put their hands on the officials, but we see it all the time. It would never happen here. It happens all the time over in the league. So because it's a female referee, we're just making it way bigger than it is. And I'm sure women have as Mike said, we're men, so we can't comment. But from what Jules Breach said about her as a person, saying, I want to be treated as though I'm, equal, then this is part and parcel of the game. He didn't do anything like obnoxiously sexual or anything like that. So it's just like, you just got to brush it off. Should he get reprimanded for touching the referee? 100%. Male or female, it just has to happen, and it should stop altogether. But, this cancel culture, just move on. And, I'll defend Pep, because if he didn't see it and he was right after the match, he's going to defend his player. Now, in hindsight, he might turn around and go, hey, that was, he shouldn't have done it, and we've talked about it, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't make Aguero a bad person.
I'm not saying he's a bad person either. I think, if anything, this should lead to a better understanding that there shouldn't be physical contact with referees, period.
But Mike, also in this game, like I watched a League One match. I think it was Derby and Watford played. And after the game, two of the players from Watford and Derby were having like a conversation with the official, laughing hysterically and like shaking hands and hugging. And I thought to myself, that's wildly inappropriate as well. It was like after the match was done. And I was just thinking, like, this shouldn't be happening. There needs to be a line where you do that in the tunnel, you do that behind the scenes, not while the camera's on you. So it's the same thing, right? Yeah. I mean, end of the day, like it shouldn't be happening. There should just be professionalism, and we move on.
Yeah, I just think contact needs to be ruled out of the game, just because it can influence the game. It can influence and put people off of their incredibly skilled
Absolutely, it can. It should have been an ejection, because if in the game of play a ball hits a referee and the moment of play is disrupted, the ref has to blow the whistle and basically drop ball it, right? So if in that moment the referee felt awkward, and then male or female should have been called over, and he should have been sent home.
I just don't understand. Is there a rule in the rule book that talks about physical contact with an official? Because if there is, it's not being. Mike,
if there is, it's probably like attacking, right? It's probably not putting your hand on their back.
It specifically, and I only know this because Rebecca brought it up on NBC. It was saying it had to be aggressive, and even she, I'm going to say, admitted, at a lack of better words, was, it's hard to look at that saying so there was any like aggression towards her. And but to what Andy said, I mean, based on what Andy just said about the referee's character, I don't think she would, I'm going to say, pull that card, or out of lack of better words here, and call the ref and say, hey, I didn't feel uncomfortable. She seems to be very much willing to just let the game roll on like normal and all, right? So power to her for doing what she did, doing the whole assessment test and everything. But to Mike's point, I mean, I think it should be rewritten, just taking out the aggressive part and just say, listen, just don't touch referee, because it's very difficult to interpret the state of not only that, but like if somebody gets rattled up, right? A player, bad tackle, whatever, you see somebody walking towards you, you don't know how angry that person is, right? So
you're leaving so much up for interpretation, and the game is trying to kind of, through VAR and other things, they're trying to eliminate the interpretive element of the game, and I think that this is one way that you got to do it.
Let me ask you this. So say total, like, it happened a while ago, and I forget, it wasn't an Arsenal match, but player clatters into the ref, helps them up, and pats them on the back after saying, "Are you okay?" Right? I mean, is that where we're drawing the line? Like, that's what I'm just saying. There's like this gray area. It's like, if you run into the ref unknowingly and then you help them back up and you pat them on the back, or "Are you okay?" What's that? Is that then a red card? Like, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I guess, look, we go back to like talking about the handball, right? Where we're saying that referees need to use a little bit more common sense. Like, if you're helping somebody up from the ground, I think your intention.
But if the rule is rewritten, though, Mike, then it has to be. You know what I'm saying? That right now the rule is written as aggressive nature, so punching, throwing something at them, whatever. I think that's why it's written that way, is because it's like, hey, this is clearly what's happening. Like, Aguero wasn't being aggressive with her or any other official, so I think that's where you create like this. There's no gray area, right? Because it's like, hey, this is aggressive. Because if you rewrote it and then that scenario happens where you do help the ref up, or you pat them on the back to say, like, "Are you okay?" Or they get blasted in the face with the ball and you run over and put your hand on their back, like, "Are you doing all right?" "No, my nose was just broken." Send over help, and is that a red card then? But that's what I'm saying. Like, you just, this whole like cancel culture for Aguero has created this massive hysteria, when at the end of the day, he should have been reprimanded for it. But the reason why the rule's written that way is because, but as you said, common sense as well, right? It wasn't aggressive in nature. He should probably get reprimanded.
Should absolutely get reprimanded. I would tend to draw the line more. I mean, if it's in the run of play, if it's if you're helping somebody up, then you can put something in the rule book that says, if a referee is injured and you're providing assistance to them, that's allowed. I mean, I think that the default should be red card. And
I do hate the fact that it's being highlighted because she's a woman, because this would never have been a conversation had it been a man. And like, this even makes it worse.
I have to say you're right that it's being highlighted because of that. But I've seen, a lot of the, and in aggressive ways too. I've seen aggressive, pulling the guy's arm to turn him around to talk to you, but I just think there needs to be zero tolerance to it. But, I don't want to keep going around in circles about that. It's an interesting topic that obviously I don't think we're done with that topic yet. Not us in person, but I mean football in general. VVD, unfortunate injury. But
shit.
We've seen players get injured with reckless tackles before. Arsenal certainly had our share of it. Why is everyone calling for Jordan Pickford's head and no one ever called for Ryan Shawcross's head?
It's a disgraceful tackle, and it could have been a lot worse than what it was. I mean, that's a leg breaker. And what pisses me off about this whole thing was that VAR and the officials did not pick it up because the player was offside. Thus, it doesn't matter in the rule book. That's bullshit. Because, VVD is a massive player for Liverpool, and that's going to affect their season. I mean, you cannot replace him. He's the best central defender in the world right now, right?
Tied with Mustafi.
But that's what pisses me off the most about it is that because he was deemed offside, there's no protection. It's the same thing as we were just talking about. Common sense has to overrule, and Pickford should have been sent off.
Yeah, on that note, so there's something because I don't know, it happened like a season or two ago where they started letting the play out, even though a player is clearly offside. They let the whole play go through. What is that all about? Because I've always wondered, somebody has a breakaway, they're going against the goalkeeper, they don't know that they're offside. They let the whole play. What if the goalkeeper comes out, Pickford, or a lesser degree, sweeps him intentionally? His intention is to stop the ball, obviously, and injures the player.
It's got to be a red. That's got to. I mean,
because it's still
I don't
part
understand
of the play.
The point. Is what I'm saying is I don't.
How
did we get to the letting the game play on? I don't understand what's the purpose.
Came in so they could allow video assistants to say was the player off or not, and because we saw a lot of times where a player wasn't off, they raised the flag. You can't continue that play, right? So it's hey, unless you're 100% sure, let the play go and then raise your flag is the rule. But if that's the case, then Pickford should have gotten a red card when VAR went and found that VVD was offside, and then they should have said to the ref, oh, by the way, because we continued the play, Pickford was 100% reckless, could have broken both of his legs, and he should be sent off.
Yeah, that I wasn't aware because I wasn't watching it live when it happened, but I wasn't aware that the reason he wasn't given action is because it was deemed to be offside beforehand. I mean, that's ridiculous. If that was the case, then Robin van Persie shouldn't have gotten a second yellow against Barcelona for kicking the ball out of bounds after the play was blown offsides. I mean, if nothing counts after the whistle or after the foul, after the play is ended, no matter what happens, that's a BS response there to me. So
yeah, you're opening up a possibility for worse things to happen. In a nutshell, players could take advantage. In matter of fact, so yeah, I think that's ridiculous too. The fact that he's offside. And I want to be perfectly clear about this. Listen, it was horrible what happened to him, but the pundits acting like he died when I was told by somebody that punditry has changed. Okay, but our current pundits are the guys that were fucking up our players a decade ago. Yeah. And the one that had openly admitted that their manager would say, just kick them about, Arsenal or soft. So, listen, I feel horrible for the guy. I understand what Andy's saying. It's a major hit for Liverpool. But same thing for Arsenal, man. If you think back, I forgot what year it was when it happened to Eduardo. There's plenty that could be said that, him going out injured and missing for the rest of the season. The season.
Yeah, we could have won the league that season.
The league.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just the bigger thing to me isn't about red card or no red card. It's about people calling him for all of a sudden there's this idea that if somebody's knocked out from a bad tackle after 8 months, that he the player that injures them should get suspended for the same period of time. If that's a rule, I'm fine with it. But why just now all of a sudden is that starting to be talked about? Whereas
because it's Virgil van Dijk and it's Liverpool and you know what, Virgil van Dijk, when we played them a couple weeks ago, that motherfucker fell over when Eddie and Nketiah ran into him. Yeah. Okay, he's a fucking diving cheat as much as everyone else is in the sport, and just because it's the Liverpool darlings and we're still on this fucking bullshit bandwagon of how great this team is, go eat a fucking dick. Okay. We had 3 players go out with ACLs recently.
Send him a bag.
Yeah, fuck off.
Hey,
Seriously, just fuck off.
Mike,
By the way,
seeing?
we'd like to welcome everybody who's watching for the first time because of the Gooners versus Cancer prize drawings to the podcast. And I've never seen Andy this angry before.
I literally I hate Virgil van Dijk. I think I like the whole he's like the Tim Howard of sports. He's always complaining with his arms.
Tim Howard of sports. Tim Howard's in sports.
But that's what I'm saying. Like he's always fucking complaining, and I fucking hate it. Like you're 6'3", 250 pounds, and you fall over when Eddie Nketiah runs into you. Come on, bitch.
Jesus.
Hey, Mike. Joseph's last comment there actually is even worse if you think about it. He said that the Athletic reported that it did go to VAR review. They checked it and they still didn't give him a red card. So I have zero clue how that's even possible.
Yeah, I don't understand.
And I read something else. So it's
okay.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like I read that they were focusing so much on the offside that they just completely overlooked the fact it's a red card challenge.
I will second Andy's opinion of eating dicks then for Virgil van Dijk.
Maybe Eddie Nketiah and all of his force dislodged the first part of the ACL, and then Jordan Pickford just ripped the rest of it out. I don't know.
He finished him off in that situation.
Yeah.
Okay. That's about as passionate of an angry rant as you'll ever hear on this podcast. Let's turn the mood around a little bit by watching a little video compilation that I put together.
Quick transition. Tottenham Hotspur are officially back. Unbelievable. The rest of the Premier League are fearing us. Tottenham. Son, 3-0. It's Gareth Bale! Oh, it's just wide! Oh, Gareth! Oh, Bale! What a chance! What a chance! I thought that was it. Can get it away. Lanzini!
What a pair of cunts.
No. What a goal. How has he done?
Oh, what a pair of cunts.
I don't understand people that are willing to do live watch-alongs.
At least they're polite.
It leaves yourself open, dude, for that type of behavior. I mean, for that matter, I was thinking like even the whole Amazon recording them thing. I would hate for Arsenal to do that.
Yeah, it's Schadenfreude to the 10th degree, but that I don't know those compilations. Yesterday was one of those days on Twitter. Now, look, I know that we've blown a 4-0 lead in the second half of a game once. I know that we have our own faults, and I know that we lost 1-0, this weekend, and that they got a point out of it. But can we not just enjoy that and just absolutely bask in the glory of the diabolical descendancy that the Spurs seem to find themselves in? So, anyway, just wanted to bring some light in a Schadenfreude kind of way. So, speaking of light, let's get to some more prize drawings. We have 5 more, I think, amazing prizes to give out. The first is for 2 amazing tickets to the Arsenal game of your choice, which is donated by Jack Stevenson. We appreciate Jack being a part of this every year. Last year, he gave away his tickets, and they were won by Mark Mertz. This year, he's got the same 2 tickets. They're in block 32. You can literally reach out with your left hand and touch the player's tunnel. So the view is absolutely amazing. And let's get to see who wins those. We had 70 people enter this drawing.
That's crazy. So little.
Well, 70 people, but
no, I know, but it would be a higher number.
Well, this is one where if you're in the States,
if you don't have
the ability to travel, you're not going to put a lot of your tickets in here.
Yeah.
But Stephanie Harris gets item F, 2 amazing Arsenal game tickets to the game of your choice. Congratulations to Stephanie. We will be reaching out to you to put you in touch with Jack, and obviously this will be one that has to be waited for a little bit, but it'll be well worth it when you have the chance. So congratulations to Stephanie. That's prize F. Prize G. We call prize G because it was donated by the lovely Mike Hernandez himself, and Mike, you're my G. So I decided to
hopefully never hear Mike say that again.
Yeah. Come on, would you rather it be prize H for homie? I'm cool with the kids these days, AF. So, all right.
Mike, what's the Jewish word for homie?
Amigo. That's the only thing I could think of.
That worked.
All right. 104 people entered this outstanding showing. We raised a lot of money with this. So it's a Arsenal jersey of your choice, home, away, or third kit. You choose the size. Mike, do they get to choose the player on the back or the name on the back, or do Andy and I get to decide that for them?
It's gonna say Hernandez on the back. It's actually I have it in my closet right now.
It's already, no wonder you donated it. It's a men's medium, right?
Hey,
Mike's like I spelt on it and I can't get the stain out, so they get it.
I don't know when I'm gonna be able to deliver on that, because as you could see by Andy's little box up there, I still owe gas money. But as soon as I save up enough.
It's a special jersey with both mustard and it has either mustard or ketchup, depending on whether you get the home or away jersey. So,
Mike, you didn't click the Uber car share, so
the winner.
When
Mike and Becca both told me you owe them money, and then I should collect from you for the gas.
James. Sorry, James.
Yeah, sorry. Hashtag sorry, James.
All right, so here we go with the Arsenal jersey, the personalized 2021 kit with your choice of player name, compliments of Mikey Hernandez, and the winner, Mitchell Friedman. Congratulations, Mitchell. We will be in touch with.
Different?
I don't know why it's different. I think I pressed a different button, but in any case, it's a
congratulations, Mitchell.
It's a verified winner, Mitchell Friedman.
Big Mitch.
Big Mitch living in Virginia. I will see you at the pub with your jersey at some point. Now you'll get it directly from Mike Hernandez, actually. So
yeah, I'll drive over and deliver.
Yeah, you're going to drive over, deliver. You're going to try to stay at my house, and I'm going to turn you down. So congratulations to Mitchell. Next, we have Arsene Wenger's autobiography, and not just his autobiography, but a signed version of his autobiography, personally signed by Arsene Wenger. This is a prize that was donated by Amy Lawrence, and we appreciate Amy always being a part of Gooners versus Cancer, being a huge supporter. And you've heard a lot about this book lately, and you will have one with his signature in it if your name is... Here we go.
I feel weird calling the book an autobiography.
Why?
I feel like he left a lot out.
Have you read it?
I've been hearing a lot of it on various pods and just people talking about it, how he doesn't want to touch on certain things.
Yeah, you figured he would avoid a lot of the
very
controversy.
Very classy.
But the winner of his first book, maybe there's a second book once he gets really appropriately upset at Arsenal, but the winner of his first book, John Pappas, JP, winning item I, Arsene Wenger's autobiography. John put a lot of tickets in there, so we're lucky. We're pleased that it paid off for him. What do you think about that, JP? JP winning the Wenger autobiography. So congratulations,
JP.
All right, we've got two more to go.
You framed that, right?
The autobiography?
The book, you framed that, you put it somewhere special, just displaying his autograph. I wouldn't want to crease the pages with it.
Yeah, I would probably get one to read and then one to not read. And I would do the same things with these signed jerseys, because I would not wear these around because I've never worn a shirt that hasn't gotten some sort of food on it. So we've got 3 signed shirts to finish us off with. The first, Mesut Ozil, donated by the California Gooners. They were kind enough to donate a 2018-19 home Mesut Ozil signed shirt to the raffle, and that is going to go to a lucky winner here from the 20 people who put in an entry. This was partly because I'm not sure everyone is on the Mesut Ozil bandwagon at this point, but also partly because it was added pretty late to the draw. So we're happy that there's some people that lined up to win this.
There's somebody in the chat. somebody in the chat that's desperate for it.
Let's see. The winner of the Mezzadozal signed shirt is Daniel Baldwin. Congratulations to Daniel.
Congrats.
You'll be getting that mailed to you shortly. As soon as we'll get your contact information and make sure that jersey comes back to you. So, congratulations, Daniel. Let's take a look now. We've got 2 prizes left. 2 first team signed kits. The first one we're going to do is from the Arsenal women's team. We have a lot of people who were very interested in this one. We have 41 people who all put significant amounts of tickets in this one that entered the drawing a couple of weeks ago. This is a brand new 2021 kit signed by the entire women's team, which is on a roll lately. I know that they had a tough result in the FA Cup semifinal, but they are just smashing teams lately. So I'm excited to get this shirt to somebody who is going to be a lucky winner. Let's get to the drawing.
If David Ziegler wins this, he loves an Arsenal women's football match.
He does. They're good stuff. And the winner of the first team women's home signed shirt, Jason Russell. Congratulations, Jason, on the win. We will coordinate with you getting that to you, and great job. One thing left. We do have a grand prize, which is going to be pretty neat. I'm waiting on it to find out exactly what it is, so we're not going to be drawing that today. But we do have a grand prize winner who's going to be part of everyone who participated, everybody who donated, everybody who played in the FIFA tournament. But we've got one more prize left to draw today, and that is the men's first team signed jersey top for the 1920 FA Cup winning men's squad. And
wait, this is the grand prize?
This is not the grand prize. This is prize H. The grand prize will be something different. More than likely a signed shirt. Yes. In your home, new.
Way more value than that Ozil one.
Yeah,
for sure.
Depending on how much you donated, it could be nude, it could be just ordinary.
It could also depend on who you are too.
That's also true. 174 entries for this one. So the winner of prize H, the men's first team signed shirt, is Connor Byrne. Congratulations, Connor.
Right.
Yes, let's see where I'll find out where Connor Byrne is from, and we will certainly get that out to you. But congratulations to Connor for your big win, and that's that. I mean, I know this has been fascinating. The entertainment value of these drawings has been beyond compare. But I do just want to thank everybody who entered the raffles, everybody who donated. There's still a chance to win the grand prize if you didn't win one of the prizes today. And it's just been an amazing campaign. Thank you for over $21,000 raised for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. Any user questions? This will be the time to get them out and finish off the podcast for today. So
I've seen the type of questions Owens asked in the chat that I'm in. Don't take his questions.
Yeah, I don't think that we want to do that.
No.
What are you thinking about the Europa League this season? I mean, we start on Thursday against Rapid Wien, which sounds like a medical condition, not a football team. But are you thinking we go full steam with this, or is it just enough already? We just put the kids on?
I think because we're not. I mean, listen, we're not going to win the league, right? So you kind of have to focus on that league position in your cup competition. Our group is a cakewalk. So if it were me, I would rotate the squad enough where we can get through, get Lacazette some minutes up top, play some of the players that are kind of on the fringe, your Reece Nelsons. Did Saliba make the Europa League squad? He didn't.
No, and he's playing with the U23s, it seems, this year.
Right.
So,
that's a weird one to me. But yeah, just allow some of these fringe players, your Willocks, your Nelsons. I'm only doing that because Mike hates it.
Of the world.
I do hate
of the world.
Yeah. Oh, I hate that.
And just kind of see what happens until we get to the knockouts, like we've done in the past. But the one thing that Arteta is going to take from his time at Barcelona and with Pep is that he wants to compete, and going deep in a cup is huge. And so I think we'll take it seriously. But dude, this group, we've got the easiest group, and what I love about it is the travel is so limited as well. Like they're not going to be in the air for very long. Like what the longest trip is to go to Austria.
Yeah, I think tomorrow is the longest trip.
If that.
Yeah, it should be interesting though to see what how the COVID situation is treated, because just like when players went to internationals, it just seems like I don't know how you do it otherwise for a European tournament like this, but I think we're going to see some impact. I think one of the Vienna players actually tested positive for COVID, but the game's still going on, so it's a weird one. But Mike, you what do you think about Thomas Partey? Do we see him start this game, or are they still going to try to bet him in?
Yeah, I don't. Okay, on that note, Andy was bringing it up earlier. Honestly, Andy, with his quality and experience, his age, the fact that he's been playing at a top league, I don't know why he couldn't start. And look, you see multiple signings from other teams. Look, Ruben Diaz, right? I don't know how long he's been training with City, but I mean, he was playing. I didn't understand why he wasn't playing, but I mean, I guess they're going to bet him in. Hopefully we get to see him either this game or the next. One thing I was going to ask, I don't know if you guys know, is Smith Rowe healthy? Because I keep on hearing like big things about him, but I haven't got to see him much. I know he was injured last time. I'm looking forward to see him getting some more play time, because realistically, the Europa League's kind of been a bittersweet thing for us if you think about it, because who knows, right? If all the Saka Nelsons of the world would have gotten some game time without this without the Europa League. So I always look forward to looking at some of our young players. So I don't know.
We turned down a loan from Huddersfield for him.
Yeah, he was there last season, and I think they wanted him back. They wanted him back.
So there's got to be some sort of a plan for him.
Balogun, is he part of the team?
I don't think he's in the Europa League squad, but I could be wrong.
I know he's been training a lot more with the first team, and I had read that talking about rejecting fees and whatnot. I guess they had like rejected like 12, 15, like 12, 10 or 12 for him from like Brentford or something. So they seem like, I don't know. I'm assuming if they're turning down that amount of money, they must be optimistic about keeping.
I think Balogun has a chance to be the next Eddie Nketiah, which means Arsenal.
He's in the Europa League squad along with Smith Rowe. I'm looking at it right now. The only other names I don't really recognize is Joel Lopez, who's a defender. Ryan Alabusu is a midfielder. Ben Cottrell, Miguel Aziz.
Aziz is turning some heads.
Aziz,
and then Jordan McNeff forward. So there's some youngsters in there, and there's Saliba. Maybe we were thinking about sending him back on loan. If he's not going to feature for us, isn't the window still open until the end of the month for EFL?
I don't know if it's till the end of the month, but I think there's some space left in there. So. I don't know. It's a weird one, but we're not sending him out on loan. I think that much is clear. We were looking
for me. I wouldn't risk.
Not even January.
Oh well, we'll see. We'll see what happens in January.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I missed a comment from Mikel or something.
Yeah, I would not risk Partey on Thursday. I just don't see the point. On paper, we are a lot better of a squad. I would put El Nini in. That's the reason why he's here. I would just let Partey. Whether or not he travels, just to get to know the group, just to get to know the system a little bit better. But I would save him. Mike, I completely agree with you. I think he should have played. I think that's the reason why he didn't. But, he's a professional. He should be able to just slot in and say, here's what you need to do. Go do it. But I wouldn't risk him on Thursday. I just don't see the point, I think there's always a handful of players you leave back. Aubameyang, Ozil, obviously,
No, I think you gotta play him, and then pay him like 10 more million pounds for playing. So
we don't talk about that.
no, we're not gonna. All right, so I think we're gonna wrap things up. Thanks again, Mike. It's great to have you on with us.
Thank you, Mike.
Mike, where can we find you?
You've
got Twitter handles, you've got podcasts, and tell us about the new podcast, because a bunch of our friends and people that we know and enjoy very much are appearing with you on another Arsenal podcast. So what's it called again?
Yeah, for those of you who don't know, I relentlessly continue to badger Andy and Mike to let me on their podcast, and they just refuse. Not kidding. Yeah, no. As you guys all know,
dollars, man.
I know, right? They couldn't. I'm hoping if this appearance will cover a month of patronage, the $9,999. Yeah. No. As most people know, that if you're watching this podcast, you know that I'm damn near in every chat room and every podcast. It's something that I've always admired, people that are willing to put their face out there and put their opinions out there, because as much as you could potentially get some praise, you also could get some dog abuse. For the very few views that we get, I must have angered somebody deeply when I mentioned El Neni's not a horrible player, because this man spent a few days doing some research, and he hit me with some counterpoints on the comments, which I thought was really funny. But yeah, anyways, I spent so much time listening to it. I wanted to put my opinions out there and have some fun with some other friends. So I started another podcast called Not Another Arsenal Podcast. That's the name.
See what you've done there.
See what right there.
You can find it on Twitter
at NA Gooner Podcast, and on YouTube it's Not Another Arsenal Podcast.
Excellent. So, and who else appears on the pod with you?
The wonderful Sebi V. There it is. Thank you. Appreciate it. The wonderful Sebi V, my French football expert. I say that strictly and only because he's French, not that he actually watches the league. We got Ryan Kosh and somebody that I like to call Ceballos 2.0 because he looks damn near fairly close, is Christian. I think it's Seeloff on Twitter. I'm forgetting all their Twitter handles. But right. Just three awesome guys, and Mr. Kelly Beck comes in as a super sub whenever somebody can't make it, and it's just something it's like therapy. I heard that word get thrown around a lot of times in podcasts, and it actually really is pretty cool to be able to contact to connect with people, like the grand majority of people, like I don't even know, like face to face, right? And just being able to connect with different Arsenal fans from all over the world and just have somebody to talk to. It's cool, and it's nice, in my opinion, to see that realistically, if you start to get to know people and you talk to them on the side, Twitter is not a good reflection of what the Arsenal fan base really is. No, because you meet some like quality. I mean, just look at what's going on right here, right, with the raffles and you guys fundraiser. Twitter it's not a good indication to see what the fan base could do. There's a lot of really, really good Arsenal fans out there.
Yeah, there are. That's a great way to wrap this up, because I mean we started this podcast as a way of just Andy and I just talking bollocks about Arsenal and joking around and stuff, and it's turned into just a network of people that we've met through the podcast, through the club, through everything. And you meet them online, you meet them in Denver in person, you give them a ride across the city to the stadium for the match, and no tip whatsoever.
No tip, no gas money.
You almost get in a fight over making jokes the next day.
There's still that weird smell in my car, which wasn't more hers, but the other mic on this pod.
Look, man, when you gotta go, you gotta go. All right, so let's wrap this up. Good. Hope for a couple of victories against Rapid Wien and Leicester City, and I will say goodnight for your Rapid Wien, Andy, and to you, Mike, and have a great week. Congratulations to all the Rapid Wieners of the prizes for Gooners versus Cancer. Thank you from the bottom of our heart.
Today.
Sorry?
Thank you.
I said you've had 2 funnies today.
Oh, 2. Okay, that's
2 more than
normal. Yeah. Well, congratulations and thank you once again for making Gooners versus Cancer as successful as it was this year, and I cannot wait to do it again next season. So come on, you Gooners.